Hello there, this is Chauncey Wyatt, aka Charlie Barley, and I want to first of all say thanks for stopping by permutationspro.com. If you've been keeping up with me on YouTube, excuse me, number one, you know I make a lot of mistakes when I speak. Number two, you know that I'm really personable, and also number three, you probably know me by a thing called Permutations, in which came out with about a year and a half ago, and it did well, and a lot of people made a lot of money, and I taught some other strategies in which I sold. Um, if you just, there was like a $300 fee, you get like a number of different strategies. And I had a number of students who took me up on that. Well, that was a year and a half ago, and since then, I actually got a lot better since then. And I'm coming back out because I have some 8 new strategies that I want to show you all, in addition to our team play, which is the team play strategies is pretty much me telling you exactly what to play. So you can use it as a team, or you can play it individually. It really doesn't matter. But the 8 new strategies are really cool because they are kind of a descendant upon the original stuff that I came out with. So on the website, you get a few. You get 3 free strategies that you can use and make a lot of money with right now. I re-updated the original permutations video. So if you scroll down toward the bottom of the website, you'll see all the videos and where you can actually get the other stuff. Then there's permutations for columns, which is the next. If you play these 2 strategies back and forth, it's going to be really, 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 really difficult for you to lose, just even on the free stuff. And as I always say, the difference between the free stuff and the stuff that you'd pay for is a different perspective upon how you'd look at the game. Because if you understand the game enough, you understand all the variables enough, you can see so many opportunities where you can make money. And so all of these different strategies kind of break down the game all the way from red and black to streets and to numbers. If you look at me play team play, you'll see quite a few instances where I pretty much tell you the exact number that's going to hit, and it's hitting. And it's only because I've studied the game enough to understand the variable system, which is what I'm calling it. Maybe I should have named this website the variable system. Because really, to analyze risk as it relates to business, I look at business and I look at the game of roulette as both a game. Because there's winners and there's losers, and the people that win in business are those who understand their business enough, those who understand how to calculate risk both in the present and in the future, or presumptive risk. A lot of great corporations pay big money for people to do nothing but analyze the risk, and oftentimes they still miss it because there are too many variables to calculate in business, which is why 90% of them fail within 4 years. The risk variable, that's the only reason why you're failing. If you have a business and it's failing, you're not calculating risk. Maybe the risk is you. Maybe it's your lack of patience. And oftentimes you tend to take that mentality to everything you do, and you're probably taking it into this game. This is another game, but the reason why I like quote unquote gambling, which is nothing but a term, is nothing but a term that they use to make you think differently. Because what difference is it that you gamble as a business owner than you do gambling here? You know, if it takes you 4 years statistically, it's 4 years before business completely collapses, and 90% of them do. You know, so in 4 years, I could literally make one bet and still have a 50-50 chance at minimum. And that's better than most people who start businesses. So you just got to understand the game. And the reason why people lose so much here in the quote unquote gambling world, or particularly roulette, is number one, they don't understand the variables, how to calculate risk. 2, they don't understand time. The acquisition of a profit. In the business world, acquisition of a consumer doesn't happen every 30 seconds. In the game of roulette, it does. So you're able to produce that type of revenue that fast. And when you have data coming in that fast, you're going to have to know how to manage it, or be able to financially manage it. Because like everything, there's nothing guaranteed. You can't guarantee that all the customers are going to buy. You can't guarantee they're all going to like your product. But what if you got, way too many coming way too fast? Can you handle it? A lot of times, too much growth is it will kill you just as much as no growth. And it works the same way in the gambling world, the casino environment. It's the same way. It's the same outcome, winners and losers. It's, do you understand the game enough? Do you understand the patience that you need to have, despite the fact that, your acquisition time is 30 seconds versus a day? To be able to complete a cycle of acquiring a certain customer, I guarantee you in the business world, 20, 30 seconds, the cost is enormous to be able to produce that. And also the liability is enormous to produce that. So when you're dealing with an animal that gives you so much so fast, you've got to be patient. So one of the things that I've learned is a lot of different ways to approach the game, because the game is so chaotic. So you really can't play it necessarily play for play or spin for spin. You probably should intermix different types of plays. These two free ones right here are really, really cool. Get these and really learn them. This is on the website. They're free. And you'll see what I'm talking about, because this is certainly a big introduction to everything else that's going on. And then all this other stuff that you pay for, it's just another level of perhaps what you're seeing here, even a further breakdown of the game. And it's one that kind of keeps you disciplined. And I'll tell you, and I'll tell everyone, stop trying to beat the game. Become just a great player. You can't beat any game. There is no game on earth that can be beaten. All right. So that's another thing that the gambling world, I think, really massages our mentality with, is that idea. So you approach it from that perspective. And if you were to go in business with that idea of trying to beat your competition, well, you've got to understand what position you're in order to beat them. Right? What infrastructure, what financial systems, what accounting systems, what law firms, what do you have to consistently beat your competition? Again, 90% of businesses fail. Stop trying to beat it and understand how to play it well. That way you become a part of the 10% that actually succeed and do well and go on to become very, very successful. Not just in the game of roulette, not just in the game of business, but the game of life. It all works the same thing. It all works the same way. There is no difference. There's winners and losers. Relationships the same way. How many of you got relationships you're losing at? I'm raising both of my hands. There's winners and losers. So, but the thing that I'm learning about just everything is that, the more I understand, so the better decisions that I can make in everything. So these different things that we've got here that you can choose from: Double Trouble, Third Shift, Revenge of Permutations, which is really, really cool. 3313. These are really cool titles too. Black Tie. Black Tie is one that you can. You'll see if you ever get that. That's a really cool one. Columbine. Columbine is one that takes you probably the deepest into where I'm at right now in terms of my understanding. The way that I play team play, I don't sell that method. I'm never going to sell that method. But what I will do is play it for you and allow you to make money with it. And the questions always become, well, if it's that good, why don't you just keep it, play it for yourself? Well, I was looking at the time that I would actually spend playing it and the amount of money that I was making playing it versus the amount of money that I could make playing it in the same time if 20 people played it. You know what I mean? So I was looking at it from that perspective. I charge a little small fee. The only thing you have to do is log in on the phone call. And then when you win, like always, tip a dealer. That's all I require. And you can look at a lot of videos I have on the website showing me playing this live for a few hours. You can look at those, or you can log into a sit-in session where you get one for not for free, but you get a sit-in session where I'm not going to necessarily tell you exactly, the exactly amount to play, but I'm definitely going to tell you what to play. But you can sit in and listen and watch me do it live before you actually start putting real money, if that's what you're interested in, or unless you just want to just come in on a sit-in session, play for a little bit, little money, just to get a feel for it, and then before you start going full-fledged. But I will be at the helm of that ship. I will be directing and captaining it, along with maybe one other person. So that's it for here. So if you're interested in any of these cool new titles, like I said, when you combine them and look at the game, you see how you can instantly divert your attention to any of these and say, okay, here's a great opportunity for this one. Oh, there's an amazing opportunity for that one, that one, that one, that one. You could even take a spreadsheet and you can start jotting down what's happening with the board, and then cross connect any of these and see which one is the best fit, because you do have 30 seconds, 40 seconds. By the time the ball spins, you're going to be looking. So if it lands a certain way, you're automatically thinking ahead as to which one of these are you going to choose. And I'm telling you, I am telling you, if you get this, this is it. I mean, you could do it this way, or you can just come and let me do it for you. Either way. But all of these does that for you. I certainly recommend these two for free. These two for free really could, if you get this good enough, you don't really need anything else. But you're going to have to really, really think about it and be patient and all those other things. And the same way with everything else. The reason why I like them as a combination, take your time getting them if you want them. But the reason I like them as a combination is because you can move the game on quicker. Like I said, because the data moves every 30 seconds and the acquisition time is so fast, you can get lost in the chaos, which is why the game is really chaotic, because it moves in 30-second increments. The stock market, it kind of reminds me of that. There's trades every 5 seconds. So it's like, you have a lot of chaos, like a volatile market. But the reason why I like this is because instead of having to wait for a specific thing to happen, much like I play now, which is the safest way to play, you can do this and you can play much faster, which is also equally safe. It's just that you're going to have to do a lot of note taking. You're going to have to really, really be focused on and really understand them all. So if you're really interested in becoming that good at the game, I certainly recommend starting here. And then when you're ready for anything else, look at the title and just come back to the website and click get the download, or you can just scroll all the way down to the bottom, and they're all the way down here somewhere. All right, so anyway, so there's my computer freezing up. All right, so I just wanted to show you guys that. So that, like I said, it's 8 new strategies. You get, and when you buy them, by the way, I'm going to send them directly to your email, so you'll get the actual video. You don't have to look at a video stream on Vimeo or anything like that. You're actually going to get emailed the video. All right, so, and also the spreadsheet that you'll use to do your calculation. So with that said, the last thing I'll say is, when you're thinking about personal play strategies too, as I always say, there's no beating anything. You have to manage it much like a business. If you're going to be successful, you have to think about it from a perspective of investment, from a perspective of risk taking. In this case, your risk level is quite significant, better than any decision that you'll make in business. The difference is that the time is very, very small. You could actually make what a business would do. The decisions that a business would have to take to acquire, say, $1,000 in consumer acquisition, in this world, it could happen in 30 seconds. So when you have access to money and data that fast, because it changes so quick, you've got to be very, 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 very careful. So with that said, these 8 new strategies is what's going to help that. All right. And that's the whole, gist behind having multiple strategies. Me personally, the way that I play is more of the style of that I'm using with the team play. Only reason that is because I'm really not a player. I'm really not a player. I really don't care about the game. I really don't care. I just care about the philosophy of it. I get the game of life. It's a game. It's winners and losers. And if you're going to play this game, don't bet on become good at the money game. I'll put it this way. The money game is no different in the market, no different in roulette, no different in business. The difference is that statistically, why are people losers and why are people winners in both? Do you understand that? So in business, there's a 90% chance of losing. Why is that? The time cost, the risk cost. Most people end up falling out of business because they can't fund it enough. Why can't they fund it? Well, credit has gotten tightened. Well, why is credit tighter? Because something happened in, where consumer confidence went down, so interest rates went up. And then credit restrictions became more. So now that stifled your growth, and now your risk is now up. And guess what? A year later, you're out of business, but you could not calculate that. In this game, you can calculate. I've calculated it all. The latest test that I did on the team play, I had over 10,000 spin tests. The most progressions I've ever seen might have been 6 personally, of which we can go up to 12. If you combine them all, so 16. So the most I've seen is maybe like 6 total, but we can go up to 16 in terms of progressions. So it's like little stuff like that. And even if we ever go, let's assume we lose all 16. That's where you have a backup bankroll, because I guarantee you the anomaly that would have to happen for us to lose that 16, it will not happen in the next 10. It probably won't happen in the next 200 because it's just that rare. I only seen it go 7 in 10,000. Okay, so, and we're prepared to go like double the amount compared to what I've ever seen. Not to say that it can't do that, because you never say what can't happen. Not in a game that's consistent this way. You can't say that. Only thing you can say is, that, like for example, red has only went 27 times straight. Recorded, at least. Why hasn't it gone 2,000 times straight? Why not 200 times straight? Well, because there's an anomaly called variables. There's only 18 reds and 18 blacks, and there's only 36 numbers, and that is what produces the patterns. So when you break down the patterns according to the variables, you can begin to look at the numbers and the way that the numbers flow in a certain pattern, and know that the game is only capable of so much. You can't do that in business. You can't do that in the market, right? So this is what this is all is going to help you learn and understand. And when you get it, I swear to God, you got it. And it's a great, great feeling. Anyway, this is enough on my side. Go ahead and enjoy the rest of the site. Look at the videos. And if you have any questions, try and hit us up on the phone number, or email us if you need the spreadsheet or anything like that. I'll try and get to as many people as possible. I do have a little help, so it won't necessarily just be me. But the thing is really, really doing well, and it's something that I'm really, really proud of. And can't wait for you guys to see it and check it out and see how it works. All right, take care. Bye-bye.